Hello my sweets, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to learn to draw a chibi based on this emoji. So let's get started. What we're going to do first is we're going to draw a big circle up here for the head. Draw with really light, loose lines. Don't try to get it exactly perfect. If you want, you can even use a cup and trace the rim to get a circle. Okay, now we're going to draw a line through it at a slight angle, almost the whole length of the page, but not quite. You see, when you draw, you don't exactly want your image to touch the edges of the paper. It'll look like you ran out of space, and it'll be really cramped and not much fun to work with either as you draw, so try to keep your image in the center of the page. Alright, this line will tell us how large the body will be. So we have the head, and down here we have the rest of the body. The body is slightly tilted because we're going to have a cute little hands on the hip pose while this chibi character sticks their tongue out like the emoji we have right here. Okay, let's go on. We're going to draw another circle below it. Now, the chibi will not be this fat. Even though pudgy chibis are really cute, we are going to just use this as constraints to remind us to stay within this circle when drawing the body. Okay, the head will be tilted to one side, so that means that one eye will be higher than the other one. To remind us of this, let's draw another angled line. This is a line that the eyes will be on. Okay, we can now erase this line down the center because we don't want it to confuse us later on. Now we'll draw a new center line for the face, more to the right. Okay, where these two lines intersect, this is where the nose would be if we were going to be drawing a nose, which we aren't. Typically, chibis don't have noses. This gives their face a really clean and pleasing look without too much detail muddling it up. Alright, let's look at the shape of the face. So we have this circle here. Where this guideline touches the edge of the circle, we want to put in a little bit of an extra curve. So curve out and then come back to meet this point down here, which is the chin. Do the same on the other side, but not quite as pronounced. There, you can see that it's already starting to resemble a very childlike face. Right below where this guideline intersects with the circle, this is where the ear will be. We may end up drawing hair over the ear later, but I want to show you the placement of the ear and how to draw it. A cute little chibi ear doesn't need much detail. All you have to do is draw an upside down U at the top, curve it down to the halfway point of the ear, and then draw another small hook. And that is all there is to drawing a chibi ear. Okay, before we start work on sketching the body, I want to show you a neat little trick that you can use when you're not sure what pose you want your chibi to be doing. Get a new scrap of paper and put it over your drawing. Now start sketching different body ideas. You can use this method the same way you would use different layers in a digital art program, experimenting with different poses and anything else that you might like hair colors, hair type, eyes, all sorts of things can be experimented with this method. I've already decided on the body for this one though. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a curved line here on this half of the body circle, and then we can erase this center line. And then with this curved line shows us the spine and neck, so we know that the neck will go right here. Let's knock that out of the way. Okay, neck attaches to the shoulders. On a chibi, the shoulders are very, 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 very small. So only go out maybe half an inch beyond the neck. Oh yeah, also the neck is very, very, very thin, so don't make your chibi neck too thick or it will look a little bit strange. Alright, now we'll draw this oval shape here. This is the upper part of the body. We have the chest and stomach right here. Another circle gives us the hips. And then the legs will come down here. This is because we need our chibi to be balanced. There is not a lot of realism in anime, but you do want to have some degree of balance to your drawing. Since we have the head leaning so far forward, we need the back to lean back to accommodate that, and then to support all of that, the legs need to come forward so that everything is balanced. Alright, let's keep going. A chibi body typically starts out small up top and then gets very pudgy and round. So it will be like a softly expanding triangle that rounds out at the bottom, like a pear. So just remember to keep this soft pear shape when you are drawing a chibi body. Alright, you can see how the body is starting to take form. Let's curve it down to the legs, which will meet right here. Okay, this is a little technique I use to show which way the legs are facing. I draw this little hook here as if the chibi is wearing a swimsuit and connect it to the crotch, and then I can gauge the thickness of the legs and which one is in front of the other. Chibi legs also have a tendency to be bowed out a little, so remember to have the legs curve just the slightest bit. We can now erase this circle. Alright, it's really coming together now. I'm going to clean up the drawing, and then we can continue adjusting the pose and adding more important things like eyes and arms. Alright, let's get back to it. I'll just darken these edges so that we can make sure we don't accidentally erase all of our hard work. Alright, let's go back to the body. So what I'm going to do with these legs is I'm going to adjust them just a little bit. I want the curve to be a little softer. The knee is about halfway down, so at that point we would curve in and then curve out once more. Just a tiny little indication of the joint. Let's do the same on this side. Follow the curve of the hips down. Alright, now we have two cute pudgy little legs done. Let's do the arms. The arms should be pretty easy. First, draw little stickman arms to show the pose. Since this is such a playful emoji, she's going to have her hands on her hips as she leans over. Oh, another note. When you draw chibis like this, you can see that they're rather curvy. This would normally suggest that it's a female, but since chibis are based off of a child's body, which is very round and tends to have curves similar to these. A body like this would also work for a male character. Alright, we have the bone structure down. Let's now pat it a little bit. Draw some cylinders for the arms. And then erase the guidelines inside. When the hands are on the hips, typically the shoulders come up a little bit, so draw this tiny little hump at the shoulders where it joins to the arm for a touch of realism. Alright, then we have the hands. Chibi hands can be very, very tiny or very, very big, depending on the style of exaggeration you prefer. I think I'm going to go with small chibi hands this time, since the feet are very small. Try not to make the fingers sharp, since that's not typically a cute thing, unless you know it's like a wicked chibi or something. No sharp nails on the cute chibis. And there we have the arms. Alright, now let's move on to the face. So we know from the emoji that the eyes are going to be closed and there's going to be a mischievous little smile with the tongue sticking out. So let's erase these guidelines just a little to give us some room. Okay, for the eyes, we will draw some big circles. So here's a tip for the placement of the eyes. We have a center line down here. Now we will break this segment in half. That's where this eye will go. When we break this segment in half, that's where this eye goes. So while it doesn't necessarily look like it's in the center of the face, when you draw out all the guidelines, you'll see that it is. Remember that chibi eyes are set pretty low on the face. A high forehead usually signifies youth, so make sure you leave a whole lot of forehead space. Big eyes are not always the cutest, so don't go for the giant Powerpuff Girl eyes just yet. We'll cut off some of this with the lashes. Now, I did mention that the eyes are going to be closed, but I just want to show you real quick how to draw this character with the eyes open. It'll be easy enough to erase it and start again. To shade chibi eyes, you draw an oval in the top corner and then a line halfway through. This oval will be left uncolored. It is the shine, and this part at the top is the darkest point and will be entirely black. Eyebrows go up really high. Cute, tiny little mouth. Okay, now let's do this based off of the emoji. We will draw these upside down U's, sort of the way Hello Kitty's expression looks. And then we will thicken them. Add tiny little eyelashes and color it in. Remember, even when you're coloring in, at the sketch stage everything should be light. So don't press too hard on your pencil even when you're darkening in these lashes. Alright, a playful smile is more on one side of the face than it is on the other. So we'll draw the smile way over here and stick her tongue out. So don't just draw this this half oval for the tongue, draw a tiny line down the center too. This shows the point where the tongue is sort of creased. This is the low point in the center. Alright, let's draw the eyebrows. There are a number of different positions you could do for the eyebrows with this kind of expression and pose. You could have them angled down, which looks like she's a tsundere who has just played a trick on somebody. You could put them up, which looks like she's very lighthearted and she's just said a joke or done something funny. Or you could do it curved in a little, like she messed something up or fell on someone and she's kind of apologizing, but she's also being a little bit awkward. Personally, I prefer the angled down eyebrows. So we're going to go with that. Okay, we have the whole body done. So what do we do once the body is drawn? We can now go wild with clothes and hairstyles. Let's have fun. Let's put her in a cute little skirt. Since she's leaning this way, her motion is also going that way, so have the skirt billow out on this side. Okay, she can have stockings and shoes. Let's give her some ponytails. Ponytails are always really cute. Remember, her motion is going this way, which means that all soft objects on her will be flowing this way. So both ponytails should go like this. Adding movement to your drawings makes them look lifelike, realistic, and dynamic. So use this technique whenever you can. Alright, I'm now going to erase the parts of the body that are obscured by clothing. What sort of shirt should she be wearing? A school uniform? A cute little off-the-shoulder top? Let's give her a sweater. It's about spring now, so a sweater seems appropriate. A cute little sweater with the sleeves rolled up. Having the sleeves rolled up shows that she likes action. She likes to move around really fast. She doesn't want her clothes to slow her down. Also, it's a fun and puffy look. Okay, let's draw the pleats in the skirt. We will draw angled lines coming off of this waistband here. And then we will go through and add hooks to the edges of these triangles. And ta-da! Her skirt now has lovely pleats. If you want, you can even add one more down the center, which will make it look really realistic and nice. You can have the wrinkle where it starts to curve in. Alright, we're almost done. Now let's do her hairstyle. What kind of hair should a playful girl like her have? I think we should pin up the front of it and let the sides fall down over her face. A hairstyle like this is also for an active girl because it keeps the bangs out of the eyes. Also, it looks really cute. So these strands of hair are made out of curved and broken up triangles. So remember, even the bottom of them shouldn't be too sharp. We will slowly curve into the point. Remember to take it slow. You don't want to rush this. Drawing should be fun. Alright, we will now make this a little bit jagged because this is the hairline. And when hair is pulled off the hairline, it has a sort of jagged look to it. Then we will curve this up and draw small curved lines to match it to show that it's being pulled back. And then we can draw a little barrette or something. Yeah, a cute little barrette with a heart on it. Should be nice. At the center part of the hair, it will curve up and then back down to meet the main body of the hair. If this were a full-size drawing, we might add a little bit of detail where it is pulled up and put into ponytails, but since this is a chibi, that isn't necessary. Let's just draw the scrunchie, and then the ponytails themselves. We can do super simple ponytails too, since this is a chibi, so let's do that. This looks sort of like hair that would be on a My Little Pony or a Powerpuff Girl. So just vary the bottom a little bit and draw some lines from the top, and there we go. Ponytail number 1 is done. Let's do the same for this one, erasing the guidelines as we go along so that we don't get the drawing messy or get confused. Since this ponytail is blowing so much, we can even add a little strand of hair coming off of it. And then more of these lines. Alright, I'm now going to give you a really quick little tutorial in shading. Let's say that the light is up here. Let's say that this is the sun. Happy little sun. Alright, that means that the light will be shining in this direction, which means that the shadows will also be falling in this direction. Which means that this portion of the hair will be in shadow on this side. Let's lay down a tone to see how that will look. Alright, you see how this works? Let's do it on this part. And this. And this. And this. You see, I'm drawing guidelines to show where the light will fall. The higher points, like these curves and this lump of hair, will not be in shadow, but where it starts to curve down and lay against the head, that's lower, so it will be in shadow. That means that most of this ponytail will be in shadow, since it's up against the head and only part of it is facing the light. And only a little bit of this one will be in shadow, since a lot of it is exposed to light. Now you would think that this side of this ponytail would be in shadow too, but keep in mind that the head is projecting a shadow on this, which is behind the head. Also, the sun is ambient lighting, so there will be light on the top, even if the sun is far to one side. Let me darken the eyelashes now, since we know we're going to keep it like this. A good effect for closed eyes is to have little lines at the edges. This looks sort of like extra eyelashes and makes it look fluffy and cute. Alright, a shadow on the neck. And let's say that the skirt is a dark color. So I'll lay down a tone on all of it, and then shade some of it darker than the others. Let's say that the sweater is a very light color, so I won't draw the guideline. I will just make light little marks to show shadow on it. And of course, cute little blush. Alright, that is it for this tutorial. I hope it was useful to you guys. Don't forget to be a sweet and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my new videos. I'll see you sweets later. Bye!